Hey, there it is. And that's it. You just got to find out what the patterns are and then act on those accordingly. Just never expect to get it on the first try, although it's nice when we do, but just never expect to do that. Hmm? Sure. It's all you mind, little brother. An incident in your class, huh? Okay, what's the scope? Group projects. Yeah, those can be a challenge at times. Let me guess. You and another student ran into a disagreement on how to proceed with a project and it escalated to a heated argument, yeah? I see. Oh, yeah, I've definitely dealt with issues like that before. Matter of fact, I still deal with them on a regular basis, especially on the job. You know, little bro, that's probably one of the most difficult lessons we as humans experience, working with people with conflicting ideas, especially when one party's ideas may end up messing up everything. It sounds like you won the argument, but it doesn't feel very fulfilling, does it? Little brother, can we be upfront? When you addressed the error in your classmate's idea, what went through your mind and how did you deliver it? I understand what you were trying to do, but it's also important that you understand how to deliver messages as that. So I must ask again, how did you deliver that message? Little brother, it's very commendable that you wanted to help the group ensure you all don't get a failing grade. And your extensive experience combined with your natural aptitude and fortitude make you a qualified leader. It's definitely in you. You're not afraid to tell things as they are and get the job done how you know it needs to be done. Our family is pretty much that way. But even with these gifts, if we don't apply the necessary methods to lead others, we can end up making ourselves appear intimidating and unapproachable. We can basically make ourselves appear like we are out of people's league and we have no room for helping people to grow. That may seem unfair and even childish regarding the spectators, and to a degree it can be. However, when we don't provide any room for people to make mistakes to learn, it can cause them to feel insignificant and no one's going to want to be around us. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did the other classmate become severely agitated and began attempting to defend their idea with an aggressive tone? And then when you heard that, you took offense and started pushing back with a more aggressive tone, yeah? I gotta ask you, do you really think your classmate was trying to disrespect you? Did your classmate say anything belittling to you or about you? No? So, how did you come up with the conclusion they were attacking you by their vocal tone alone? See, little brother, usually we go that route when we have a history of those situations. Plus, when we are so focused on being right, we can sometimes end up causing more problems than we actually solve. We gotta give people room to breathe, and we gotta give them a chance to stumble a little in order for them to learn. It may seem like there's no time for that, but actually there is. Part of the teacher's lesson is teaching you all how to work with each other when you have differing opinions or ideas. Little brother, you are going to find that working with people is a never-ending lesson. However, you can develop the skill set to be able to work with some, while with others, you might not be able to. And I'll tell it to you straight, this happens a lot in the workforce, and it goes all the way up the chain of command. Ultimately, we just have to pick our battles. But how are we able to do that when we don't know who our allies and our enemies are and what the end goal is? And sometimes in the heat of the moment, we actually lose focus on what the actual goal is. One of the biggest challenges in a situation like yours is how do you help guide people with differing ideas, but have the same goal to be able to work with each other? What do you think? Okay, let's go through the interaction and see what we can adjust. So, after the classmates shared their idea, how did you address it? Okay, so telling someone with an idea that their idea is just ridiculous and giving valid reasons why, while your analogy may have been correct, your delivery was harsh, and that ends up stirring up emotions and triggering defensive behavior by the recipient. It goes back to the old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Even when they are giving a bad idea, we still need to be in control of our own emotions and deliver the message correctly. Yes, everyone's grade is at stake, but if the group doesn't work together, you all are guaranteed an F, right? Now, I'm sure you're also thinking, well, where the heck is their emotional resilience? At the same time, where is our emotional sensitivity? We who have experienced that same kind of treatment, just in that instant, we can end up repeating the same foul up as those who did it to us. To which our common excuse is, we're tired of not being taken seriously ourselves. But we forget there are others who could be suffering that same experience. And really, those experiences have a direct impact on a very important element within us that is commonly referred to as a virtue. You know what that is? It's our patience. Another one is our own perception. If the pain of our previous experiences are not healed, or at least set aside from the new encounter with someone, our perception will oftentimes become clouded by bias, which can also be driven by the impatience. And that's when we start viewing the actions of the current person as the same as those previous. And one thing I've learned, most of those people I had viewed as trying to down me or discredit me or even disrespect me, that was not even close to what they were trying to do. They were just trying to get a task done the way they knew how. It actually had nothing to do with malicious intent. I just came to that conclusion out of my own anger and unresolved pain from those who did have malicious intent. Now, I will say this, I don't have enough information about this classmate to know whether or not there is malicious intent, but ultimately we do need to be patient with those who are not on our level. As leaders, part of our job is helping to build our team up. So let's talk about some solutions in making this right. First, to help rekindle things, start off by acknowledging that your delivery was harsh. Usually recipients that hear this are receptive to that, and that'll break some barriers to start. Next, inform that you've reconsidered the other classmate's idea and you'd like to explore the contributions of the idea. For the portions that are counterproductive, address them respectfully as concerns and ask them what solutions are available to remedy those discrepancies, but also offer to help and let them decide whether they want your assistance or not. And ultimately, just be patient with them. Doing it like this might seem like you're losing a battle, but you're actually not. It means you're no longer doing all of the work and you're wanting them to be more involved. This includes scenarios where you already know the end result. The thing is, they need to learn that. So by addressing it this way, it will help them to be guided to that conclusion. Ultimately, little brother, you sometimes have to let people fall. It's one of the ways we learn. It's better to have a few errors through the trials before the project is due than to fail when the project is actually due. You never know. You might even learn some things about that classmate's idea you might not have even considered. The bottom line is always hear people out first and try to work things through with them where possible. You don't want to come off as stingy and unapproachable. Always try to de-escalate, and the best way to do that is by showing genuine interest in understanding where the other person is coming from. Anytime, little brother. So, what you thinking about for dinner?